Coin collectors, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. And once again, we're going to have one of our sneak live appearances. And today it's going to be Germany or Deutschland or Bundesrepublik Deutschland. And these are going to be some of the older coins, not the new Euro style coins. And one of the things we want to do is take a look at all the different mint marks that they have on the German coins. And if we look at this, we see there's an F there, there's a G there. If we look right down here, we see there's a D. Let me see what's on this one. A J, an A. So we have all these different mint marks. There's another D, and there is another J. So let's take a look at the different mint marks from Germany and kind of work our way through. And what we're going to do is, let's start with the smallest one, why not? And this, of course, is the one Pfennig coin from Germany. And we can see that it has the wheat ears on it. And if we could get it, some of these are a little hard to illuminate. There we go. If I tip it up like that just a little bit, and you can see if I tip it up like that, there's a J there. In between the wheat ears, there's a 1 here, and then it says Pfennig. And then if we slip it to the back, we see, this is a 1950. It says Bundesrepublik Deutschland 1950, and it has the oak. And a number of countries have this kind of oak, that's the strong tree, the one that you can, that has acorns, but it also has incredibly good wood for burning and building. This is 1950, the first year that Germany independently produced coins. And so you'll see a lot of these 1950 Pfennigs around. This one, when they made, I believe, let me take a look. So what we do is we look at the mint mark here, and then we look at the listings, and we see that at the J mint mark in 1950, they made 784 million. So this was the introduction of a new currency for Germany after World War II. And we'll talk a little bit about that. Some people say, well, that they did have the Pfennig before then, but let's take a look at that in one of the other coins. So J is the mint mark of Hamburg, Germany. And if you go to Numista or one of the other sites, they will tell you what all the mint marks are. So there's a J on a 5 Pfennig coin. And you notice that when we looked at the 1 Pfennig, that's copper-clad steel, the 5 Pfennig's a different material. And they moved for the 5 Pfennig to brass-clad steel. So they went from copper-clad to brass-clad. And here we see there's an A. The A is the oldest mint mark, I believe, from Germany. Well, no, the J is pretty old too, but there's something interesting about the A. The A is the Berlin mint mark. So again, it says 5 Pfennig. Again, it says this is a 1990 Bundesrepublik Deutschland. So they made these coins from 1950 to 2001. But the reason I have the 1990 here is that the Berlin mint didn't make any between 1950 and 1989. So this is the first year of the Berlin Mint for these coins. So even though the Berlin Mint has been around for a long while, they didn't produce circulating coins between 1949, as far as I know, and 1989. So that's the 5 Pfennig. Next comes the 10 Pfennig. And this is, you see the 10, and this one's a D. So what's D? If we look it up, it's the Munich mint mark. So we had Berlin so far, and Munich, and Hamburg. And again, the wheat ears. Again, this is a 1949, so this is going to be an interesting one. All right, so let's take a look. Remember when I said that Germany did produce coins before 1950? Well, they produced the coins after World War II under international control of its monetary system. So essentially, the Allies came in and took over the German monetary system in 1945, 1946, and it says Bank Deutscher Länder. So this is a 1949, and of course they still had mint marks then, and it's a D. And if we compare it to the 1950s, so I brought one of each, same thing, 1950 over here, But in 1950, Germany kind of released its own currency and said, we want to start up our own currency. And some of the Allies weren't happy with that, but it worked and it kept going. So here's the 1950 Bundesrepublik Deutschland. Here's the 1949 Bank Deutscher Länder. And this is the first of the post-war German independent minted coins. And of course, this one here is a D, and this one here is a D. They're both from the Munich Mint. Next up, we have the 50 Pfennig coin. And people say, well, what about you went 1, 5, 10, 50? What about the 20? What about the 25? Don't they have some of those? Well, it turns out that Germany hasn't produced a 20 Pfennig coin for a long, long time, but East Germany did. So if you find, or what's essentially called the German Democratic Republic, if you find a 20 Pfennig coin, that means it was produced in East Germany or the German Democratic Republic. It won't have the same kind of stuff on it. It'll have the hammer and the compass on it, and it'll say German. It'll say Deutsch Demokratische Republic on it. So no 25s either. 25, the last one they made was, I think, 1912. So if you're looking, when you look into German coins, you're going to jump right from the 10 to the 50. All right, Bundesrepublik Deutschland 50 Pfennig. And then we see this one has a J, and we haven't seen the J yet. So what does the J mean? Well, the J is the Hamburg Mint. Did we see the J? No, I don't think we saw the J. So J is the Hamburg Mint, and you see how that's kind of a stylized J. It doesn't go to the right, the top. It just comes down like this. Sometimes these are a little hard to tell with the D's. If the D's get worn and the J's get worn, it almost looks like it has a D style, but it's not. We see this one has the pearled outer rim on the 50. We see also that it, not the smooth rim of the other coins. And if we look at it, I don't know if you can tell, but it's quite a different material. Okay, so when we get up to the 50 Pfennig, we're talking about a copper nickel rather than a brass or copper clad steel. So the 50 Pfennig coin, this is a 1967. It shows the woman planting the oak tree. So we went from an oak branch or sprig to a woman planting an oak tree, and this is up to the 50 Pfennig. These were all these coins were demonetized on December 31st, 2001. And why is that? Well, of course, that's because that's when the euro was introduced. They gave these coins a little bit extra time, and then they pulled them all off. So they're easy enough to find. For instance, this 50 Pfennig coin, we can look it up, and we can see that the 1967 50 Pfennig coin with the J mint mark, it actually, they made 10.7 million. So this is one of the more, one of the rarer ones. There's a number of years, if you can find, look for the 50 Pfennig coins, you can sometimes find some that are relatively valuable. This one might be worth $1.50 to $2 in this condition. So look for all the mint marks and then look for the higher ones. After we get to the 50 Pfennig coin, we come to this one. And this is an F mint mark. And this, I don't know if you know what this one is, but I will tell you, this is the 1 Deutschmark. So this is another 1950 coin. And you see it says 1 Deutschmark. Again, we have the oak leaves. We have the pearled outer rim. We have, look at this. So when we get to the 1950, we have the infused symbols around the outside. And the 1950 1 mark coin, it doesn't say anything. It just has these infused symbols around the outside. This again is a copper nickel coin, and the F mint mark means that this coin is from Stuttgart. So there we go, and that's a fine engraving, isn't it? I mean, if we look at these, this is what many people consider a German symbol, well-recognized German symbol, kind of the war eagle symbol on this one. And then finally we have this one here, which is a 1975 G, and the 1975 G comes from the Karlsruhe, Karlsruhe mint, and in 1975 they produced this coin, which again has kind of the war eagle on it, and that is, the United States calls it a war eagle too. This coin is a heavy coin, 10 grams. 5 Deutschmarks was a lot of money. And it again was demonetized on December 31st, 2001. And when we looked down to see how many of these they made, they didn't start making these until 1975. So that's they made them from 1975 until 2001. But if you get one of these before 1975, guess what? It's silver. So that's why you'll almost never see a 5 Deutschmark coin from before 1975, because they were silver and they're worth a lot of money. So what do we have? We have the, I wanted to tip it up and show you this one has the accused edge on it also. This one actually has words. It says unity, and there's the and, unity and justice and freedom. So there we go, around the outside of this one, and that's how you can tell this one is. Now, is this worth anything even though it's not silver? Yeah, an uncirculated one of these is worth about $5 or $6. A very good one like this, this is not quite very fine, but maybe it's on the edge of very fine, would be worth between $1 and $3. So there's the 5 Deutschmarks. There's the 1 mark. There's the 50 Pfennig. And we have all the different mint marks here. So what we've done is we've shown a D, an F, a G, and a J. And so some people say, well, what about all the other mint marks? What about the B? Well, the B they didn't make after the 1870s. That was a Dresden-Hanover mint mark. The C was Frankfurt until the 1870s. The E was Muldenhütten until 1953. And they also made an S out of Dresden-Hanover until 1844. So not all letters are equal because they stopped making many of the other letters mainly following the 1870s. All right, that's all we have today from the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Look for your mint marks. Remember, you just have to blow it up a little bit, and then you can see there's the mint mark here. There's a mint mark here. This is kind of shaky, huh? There's a mint mark here on this one. We got the mint mark here. On this one, we have the mint mark here. Have a great day from DC Coin World International Coin Channel.